look what happened this morning at 2 a.m. Nancy Pelosi put about a $2 trillion bill in. There was a vote on the floor. She put a tunnel in Silicon Valley that has nothing to do with COVID into the bill. We wanted to take that money and give it to the kids to get them back in school. It's an easy discussion, right? We want people back to work, back to school, back to health. Pelosi wants to put more tunnels, more waste, and the Democrats voted for it. It's a clear place. Who's standing for the American public and who's standing for corporations? It's the Republican Party today, and it's what we're going to be tomorrow and in the future, and that's why America is going to be stronger, because we'll put America first.
And under Kevin McCarthy's leadership, under my leadership, we're going to continue to be the party of the working class for a long time to come.
Look, there's something really true out there. I don't care if you're conservative, liberal, or what else. I do not know what the Chinese party and government have on the Democrats, but it is so powerful. It is so powerful. It is scary. Put Eric Swalwell on the Intel committee. I've been in a briefing, just myself and Nancy Pelosi. Anyone that's ever heard that briefing would not have him on that committee and would question would even keep him in Congress. But that's what's happening in the Democratic Party. What's the first thing that Joe Biden does? He calls the Chinese she, and he placates them. He says now what they do on human rights, oh, it's okay, it's a cultural thing. He won't stand up for what they're doing to our universities. He's not. China wins that election if Biden gets in. That's the problem what happened. And I don't know what they have on the Democratic Party, but it's powerful. And we need people like Jim Banks, that was part of the China task force, that has a plan to actually stand up to them so the next century is the American century.
It was a great video. Good work. So let's get to this question of this radical policy that's hitting the House floor and hitting the Senate floor. I'm sure it's shocking to all of you. Been all kind of numb since the election, and then you start seeing, will the Democrats be as radical in their policy proposals as they told us?
Worse.
And we are always such nice people. We say, oh, come on, they're going to not be that way, and then it starts coming. And so radical on this most recent COVID bill, they can't even keep their own members together. Losing members from Maine and stuff, that must be interesting. Are they starting? Do you see a chance that maybe in the House it's almost impossible because Queen Pelosi is too tough, and she keeps them together. But if you can make the rhetorical points in the House, maybe there's a couple senators that are beginning to realize that being a socialist isn't so good at the ballot box.
The only bipartisan vote last night was against that COVID.
That's right.
Less than 9% of it had anything to do with COVID. It was all a waste. But what else is happening here is, when you put a bill out, you'll see the HR number. They reserve the HR 1 for the most important bill. You know what the Democrats have? HR 1 is to take over our entire election system. What they've done is they changed the rules in Congress that have never been changed before to take away the right of the minority to even have an amendment because they're afraid of our idea. Jim Banks is fighting this with the Republican Study Group. You're the very first one that came out against that election.